In this video, I'm going to show you guys how to do a quick website audit for a roofer website based in California. So we're going to use some real world examples of how you can do this quickly. So you can consider this like a quick 5-minute audit. So for those that don't know, the higher the website is ranking in Google search results, the more optimized it is for search engines and for SEO. And so if you want to get to high rankings here for more organic search traffic, more leads, sales, and revenue, then you need to do a lot of things right as it relates to SEO to get up there. And so we're going to go down past these top 10 results. We want to work our way down to what used to be the old page 2, page 3, page 4 of Google search results, which are where the less optimized websites are. Typically, the top 10 pages in Google get the most conversions, so the most sales, the most phone calls, all that good stuff is in the top. All the revenues in the top 5 positions of Google. And so just something to keep a note of. So anything down here is less optimized. So we could see here Chandler's Roofing colon, and it says home, is a less optimized website because typically you want to include, search phrases, queries, keywords. They all kind of mean the same thing. You want to include those here. So I know that this website's not optimized just by reading this that says home. They might have some elements of, website optimization. And so I'm not picking on this person here, but we're going to use them as an example on how we can better improve their search engine ranking so they can rank higher in Google. If we open up the website, I see that they have a video right away. So typically this is okay, but you do want to have a header here where you're talking about the services that you offer and the location area that you offer. So if they're based out of California, then I want to include like something roofing company, based out of California or services the California area and surrounding areas, if that's applicable to you and the services that you offer. And so this audit here is basically for SEOs and people who want to learn how to optimize their website here. So what I like here are the reviews. We have some social proof. They have a why choose us. I like how they have that here. Some more of the benefits, 24-hour services, licensed, etc. Some good high definition images. I would want to make sure that these are under 500 kilobytes in size because anything over that is way too big. And so it'll take Google longer to render and load your web page here. And as it relates to the video here, I would want to make sure that we have this embedded here because that means it would load a lot quicker in terms of the website loading speed. And we could use something like pagespeed.web.dev. You could paste the URL here, and it's going to give us 2 different scores for 2 different categories for the mobile optimization, which is crucial now, and it will be for the remaining future because a lot of people use their phones to look up different services and products online. A good amount, I think it's over 50%. Don't quote me on that, but I'll link to it below on the stats. And then we have a lot of people using their desktop, but typically you want to optimize the site speed for mobile. We can see the SEO score here is good. And these are just the quick areas that you want to focus on. You can learn how to fix these different things. We could see that they're using an okay description for the image alt text. Basically, you just want to talk about whatever's in the image. And if you can include a keyword here related to the services that you offer in the location or city that you offer, then you want to include that there. But the performance could use some work. We could see that it's loading a bit slow here just based on these data points. And you can learn how to optimize for that. So just right away, I would work on the site speed optimization a little bit. I would just try to get this to 80 or 90. Any good web developer can help you optimize this page speed score. Typically, you don't want to use plugins because that will make your website slower. So typically, just hire out someone who can help you with this here. All these other metrics look good, but we're going to be covering different facets, different areas of this website audit. And so if we copy the URL and paste it under a tool here that I'm using, a SEMrush, we could see its performance over time. And I like to see this here, how it's going up here. It's trending upward, so that's great. I don't like what I see here. I wonder what happened here. I would want to investigate this further to make sure that we're doing everything properly to not have this happen again and in general. but we could see a spike here in the keywords that this website was getting found for online. So related to Chandler's roofing, services in San Pedro, etc. We could quickly see at a glance the position. So they were ranking in position 1 of Google when someone typed in that search query in Google. So they were somewhere around here, position 1. But we could see that they experienced a dip here. So that's something I'd want to investigate on why that happened. And I would look at the time frames to see if these match or not. It looks like at a glance, this was the year 2023. And this was in the year sometime in 2015. So that's something you want to look at here. And you can do some more competitive analysis or research on the different organic keywords that their website is getting found for online. Another thing I like to look at is the branded versus non-branded traffic. How many people know about your website? That's branded search terms, so like Chandler. And since that's the name of the website. But how many people can find your services based off keywords or search queries that don't have anything to do with your website name? So non-branded keywords. And you can see more backlink data, which we're not going to get into. But at a quick glance, I like looking at the authority score, organic search traffic, and backlinks. Another thing you want to look at for a 5 quick minute audit, probably not, but if you're really curious, you can look at the backlinks data. And this is just saying like what websites are linking to our website, so chandlersroofing.com. But for this purpose here, we're going to focus on some critical areas here that can, move the needle positively for this potential client here, this person who looks like they could use some work optimizing their website. Maybe they did the optimizations themselves. I don't know. I'm just grabbing a random website and we're going to learn how to quickly optimize this website without me even knowing anything about it. So I'm going to open up the detailed plugin tool here. And the things I'm looking at right away as an SEO consultant are the page title here, which we saw in Google search results. This is the page title here, and this is the meta description. So the piece of text that people are looking at before they click on your website. Typically, the higher the click-through rate, so the more people click on your page titles, the higher likelihood people will buy your services. Okay, so we want to do everything possible to get this website found near the top or at the top of Google search results. So we're going to cover those points now. So just by looking at the page title, if I see that they're missing some basic optimizations here, like they're not including the city, state, or the region, the area, the district, or province that they want to target here, in the US in this case, then I know that this website could use some work with SEO, guaranteed. And they could benefit from a website audit. Just because that simple thing here that's really powerful is missing. I know that we can improve this here if we can include a call to action, like click here, or like read more, schedule a call, etc. We want to look at different call to actions that we can use. And one thing that you could do if you want to get some ideas is look at the competitor websites and see what they're saying. Like call us today, this is a sponsored ad, not exactly an organic competitor, but nonetheless, you can get some ideas from them as well. Oftentimes, they've tested out this page titles here a lot because when you spend money on Google Ads, you want to make sure that they're profitable, right? And so it could be that this is really high converting for this particular website. And if you click on this, and I'm showing you for examples here, you can get some ideas on what they have for call to actions like call us today. And so there's different things that you want to do here. So we can open up other websites here. Say like we'll open up these 3 here. Get a free estimate. So I may want to include that inside my meta description here, just somewhere here. I want to make it more engaging, more enticing, and I want to include a keyword if possible inside here. And the cool thing about this little tool here is that if you hover over this question mark, it'll tell you approximately how long your meta description should be or your page description. I typically like to aim for 120 to 160 characters in length total. And for the page title, I like to be at between 50 to 60 characters in length total. And we can see that they have a huge room for improvement based on the denoted red little mark here. So One thing that you could do if you want to find some quick opportunities on how to optimize a website is you can grab a tool like Screaming Frog and you can paste the URL, and then you can go to the crawl configuration tab. And for example purposes, I don't want this crawl to take a long time, so I'm going to deselect all these options here. Then I'm going to click OK, and I'm going to start the crawl. Okay, so the crawl is now complete. So now what we're going to do is basically almost like magic here to optimize this website really easily and effectively from an SEO point of view. And it typically shouldn't take you like more than 5, 10, 15 minutes to, come out with some basic recommendations. Obviously, this is not an in-depth audit. This is just a quick thing that you could do if you want to get some ideas on how to improve your website, a website's performance to get more leads, more organic search traffic, more sales revenue, bookings, etc. It just depends on your goals here, your business objectives. And so go ahead and like the video if you like what you're seeing so far. I'll really appreciate it. It'll help my channel grow, and as a way to thank me for doing these types of videos. So without further ado, what we can do is we can export this file here, and we can name it Chandler's Roofing. And now we're going to take all this data here, since I don't want to read it here. I want to adjust it and maybe filter it, sort it, make some manipulations with the data inside something like Google Sheets. And so you can click on File here. Since we've downloaded the file, click Import, and then you could just upload the file or drag it from your downloads folder. What you can do here, once you've added it, is click on Append to the current sheet, and then append the data. Okay, so once this is done here, we have a lot of data here, but don't worry, this looks intimidating, but we're not going to use a lot of this information, at least not for this audit here. And so what you could do right off the bat are a couple of things. I like to keep some of these tabs open, but we're going to focus on the high impact tabs here. I like the content type here because it gives us information about, is this page like a regular page or is this an image, right? If we look at the URL, we could see this is an image, and then the actual homepage is an HTML website. Is an actual web page, basically. It's a normal page, not an image. And so you can keep those as is for now. It's not, it's an optional thing to do, but we're going to go ahead and add a filter here to look at the data quickly and start working with it. And so basically we're not going to need a lot of these things here. I'm going to delete this here. I'm going to go ahead and expand the meta description. So I'll go ahead and highlight what's important. So the page title, the meta description, these are pretty much it. And then the H1s. So I'm going to mark those for you all. These are the pages that we want to work with mainly here. Let's go ahead and delete some more information, and let's make this a bit more presentable. So you could see the tabs that I've kept here. It's pretty much the ones that I've highlighted plus a few extra ones here. We don't need this one. So now we are pretty much good to go. So some of the key aspects of this crawl, which is this website audit, which is going to save us a lot of time, are the title link, so the page title, right? The meta description length, this little counter here, and then we could start making a lot of recommendations just based off these little tabs here. And I'll show you guys what I mean exactly in a moment. But I like to make sure that all websites have a header one. Chandler's Roofing. So if we go to the home page, we can see it should be around here somewhere. There it is. There's the header one, which is what we copied. And if you don't know what the header ones are, you could basically use a tool like Detailed and get more information on what header ones are. And just looking at this data here, we have 6 of them. We want to, if this was a client of mine, I would tell them to make sure that we only have one, since that's his best practices. We don't want to confuse the Google crawlers reaching your website, what you're trying to rank for. And so we want to have one header one, which should be likely this one here. And then the remaining headers should be header 2s or header 3s to help you break up the content even further. And so, yeah, sometimes the Screaming Frog crawler tool crawls the images even though you tell it not to sometimes. So not a big deal. We can still make some recommendations, or we can easily get rid of them by clicking clear image. And then I can either hide these so they're not distracting when I'm, analyzing the other data that's more pertinent, that's higher impact. And so I can now just easily deselect it as well. Let's go ahead and select everything actually. Yeah, I can either hide these or just delete them. And for this instance, we're just going to go ahead and delete them here. Okay, so now we are left with all the other web pages here that should be HTML, basically what a normal page should look like. And so typically what you want to do is you want to get an idea of the different types of URLs that exist for this website. Okay, perfect. Now we can only see the URLs here. Perfect, this looks great. If I were you guys, I would want to go ahead and open up all these different pages just to get an idea of what exists here. And even before that, I'd want to get an idea of the different types of services that they offer. So I'd do like a topical audit, just looking at the different sections of their website to make sure, the functionality works, everything's good, the design, the layout is pretty good overall. But I'm sure once we review the website, we can make even more recommendations. And so we're going to breeze right through this. So what I like to do right away is typically click on view and then freeze the top cell so that when I scroll down, I can see what data pertains to each one of these URLs. So like what's the status code for this page, the indexability for this page, and so on. And so one way to find some quick, easy wins for most websites is going to be by looking up the broken pages that exist inside each page. And so I could see here in the URL we have a 404. So if I open it, I want to know if this page in fact works or not. And so we're met with basically what's known as an oops or a 404 page error. This just means we don't want people reaching this page of the website because people can't do anything here. There's not a great user experience, as you can imagine. So I'd rather send them to the homepage, and I want to redirect people to the homepage. Typically, if this said something like, services / roofing or a specific roofing service that they offer, then I'd want to send people instead of to the homepage, I may want to send them to the roofing services, all the roofing services that I offer. Or you could also send people to, this roofing tab here. So what's known as the services category page here. From the looks of it, they offer roofing, solar, gutter cleaning, or installation, skylights, etc. So I may want to send people to that page path. And so we can start getting ideas of what's going on here. So all the broken pages I would fix. What I'd like to do is Command F, click on 404, and we can see we have one and then two more pieces of text with the 404 in it, but they pertain to the same web page here. And so let's go ahead and see what else we could do here. So typically there's a lot of broken pages for a lot of websites, and that's an easy thing and fix that you could do. And just looking at the data here, I want to make sure that all these 301s are being sent to the right location. So let's go with an easy one example here. Blog. A lot of websites have blogs, some don't. But if you open it up, we'll see where they're being sent to. They're being sent to the blog location, but this URL here has the / in it. And so this is good. This is exactly what I would do to send people to this page here. And so you just want to verify that all these other pages here are being redirected to the right location. And if they're not, you want to make a note somewhere on your website audit sheet. Say we create a new column, and we could call this notes. Obviously, you'd want to format this better here than I'm doing. But just make it bigger, and then you could write say if it was for this page, redirect page to blank location, right? Like X. We don't know where it's going yet, but we know it should go to a different location, for example. And so, those are some things that you can quickly look at that'll take you some time to do. But you could start seeing how you can get some ideas on what are some things that you can work on. And this is important because you don't want to send people to the wrong location, right? So if you offer, skylight installation services, and instead of sending people to that particular service page that you offer, you end up sending them to the blog, or you send them to the homepage. It's not ideal. You could send them directly to where, the path of least resistance, so to speak, so they can easily lead to a higher conversion or a sale for your business and different services or products that you may offer. So another thing that I like to look at very quickly, and this will typically tell me if they have errors right away, and I know they do because we see some pages here with an empty page title. Something you want to work out right away. You can include in your notes here, add in a page title for missing page title. But yeah, basically just want to make this bigger here, but I'm just breezing through it. But let's go ahead and do that. Boom, there you go. We can make this even bigger just to have a bigger notes section, and now we could delete these columns. So another thing you could do right away is basically sort this data in descending order. So I clicked on sort Z through A, and we could see right off the bat, we have, let's see, what's the count? If I click on this little sum here, count, I can see that we have 8 pages over 60 characters in length for the page title. And that means that these page titles will be truncated in Google search results. So like, let's say I take this here, which is almost 80 characters in length, and I use a tool like Moz, title length checker here, and I paste it inside their title tag preview tool. We could see that it gets cut off after solutions 4. So all this here, anything after 4 gets cut off. Long-term savings. And it looks bad, doesn't look as professional when things get cut off, right? We see the ... here. Same thing applies for your meta descriptions, which is why you want to optimize it. You want to make the most efficient and effective use of the page title so that we can get more people clicking to your website and actually, landing on making a sale, making a phone call, making a conversion, as we like to say in the marketing world here. So yeah, I would work on, right off the bat, I would make a note of that and say like, optimize, I believe it was 8 page titles. And then the optimization process of these here, I'm just going to copy that here, is a whole nother thing. But basically you want to typically include a search phrase or keyword with search volume. You could use a tool like a SEMrush and use the keyword tool there to see if people are typing in like roofing services in California, New York, Arizona, or wherever you're based. But you want to make sure that the page you're optimizing makes sense for that keyword. So keyword intent, search volume, keyword difficulty are all different things that you want to make sure you're optimizing for and keeping in mind when you select it before you use it on a blog post. For this case, right? This is a blog post, but this idea applies for your homepage, right? Serving Los Angeles and surrounding cities. So I may want to include a keyword around roofing in Los Angeles and surrounding cities in my in my homepage, right? If there's search volume for that, which there is, but you want to make sure that you're using the right keyword, and you want to make sure that you optimize the remaining page for that search query, right? So that you can rank higher in the Google search results, which is why we're doing this. And make sure to like the video if you're getting some value out of this so far. There's a lot of things to cover here, but they're really high and impactful information here that can make a difference to your business here, or to your client's website if you're doing a website audit for your client. One thing I don't like here, seeing here, is this little dash here. It's unnecessary. It doesn't really add more description to the page title, so I would get rid of that, omit it. And instead, what I'd like to do is if we head over to the website, and I know for a fact that their name is Chandler's Roofing, that's their brand, that's the name of the website, then what I may want to do, assuming this page was like for roof repair signs, roof repair, then I may want to include, the search query here, or you could think of this as basically the keyword /keyword, and then I want to use like a separator tool, like this little pipe here, which takes up less real estate in the Google search results. If you can recall, the Moz tool that we use here states that anything over 600 pixels in length will get truncated, right? Like I showed you guys in the example previously. And I'd want to include the name of the brand or the website here. And that's basically the layout for what I want to have for the page title. And so once I've done my research and I know what I want, I could get some ideas of the competitors to see like how they format this, but I wouldn't copy them exactly. I would just get some inspiration from them. And so I may want to narrow down into, in Los Angeles, if I was working for this client, perhaps, if I could spell it correctly, and then get some ideas for the top ranking websites. Ignore Forbes, BBB, Angie's List, since they're not direct competitors. These are like big brand website names. But perhaps the Roof Doctors may be a good example of who I may want to compare. JJ Roofing sounds like a smaller business, and I mean smaller as in not like a huge brand name like Forbes. And then there's other competitors. Expertise, this looks like an aggregate website, which is not a direct competitor or a directory style website. But these are good examples of who I may want to do a competitive analysis on. And I can get some ideas of what I want the call to action to be. So maybe that means, call me for a quote or get a free inspection. Roofing estimates seems to be a pattern here for this industry related to, what we want to optimize for in terms of the page title, the meta description, and then the page copy of the website itself. So these are all different things that I'm quickly running through my mind and just considering on what I want to do for all these page titles in particular. But here, you want to make this descriptive, and I'm going to write this here since it's for example purposes, descriptive, informational, and then and include a call to action, right? So call now, book a time to speak with us, or get a free estimate, etc., right? So that's basically how you would optimize the remaining of these page titles. And then, honestly, since I see a more of a pattern here with these little dashes here, what I would do, we could see that the dashes are being finded here with the quick command find here throughout basically the entire list here, and we could see an empty gap here, which is fine for the pages that are being redirected, since these pages theoretically don't exist anymore and won't appear in Google search results. I can go ahead and hide this row so they're not as distracting. I have a PDF that I'm looking at just by reading the URL names, PDF. So I may or may not want to include a page title for these, if possible. If possible, I would. I almost never optimize PDFs, but if you can do that, then I would include a keyword there for sure. Make it descriptive about what this page is about. You can always open it, get some ideas on what it is. Luxury roofing shingles. Just get some ideas and include the page title here, since these are indexable, which means discovered in Google for those that don't know. And so just looking at these here, archives, you wouldn't want to optimize archives. So maybe one thing I want to do is type in archives, if I could spell. I'm going to deselect these since I don't want to do anything with these at the moment. We have a lot of archives here, so what we're going to do is just click on clear, click OK. And now we see all the pages here. We've narrowed down the pages that we want to optimize. We just see the ones that are more pertinent to, SEO optimization. High value pages that'll have the biggest impact in Google search results based off what we could see at the moment. Typically, you want the homepage optimized, service pages optimized. If you're an e-commerce website, the product pages, all the money pages, those should be optimized first, or the lead generation pages, leading to a call, bookings, etc. And then you want the informational content optimized, like the blog content, right? Or resource page, FAQ pages, about us, contact us pages. I may want to optimize the contact page as well, since for lead generation websites, it makes sense to get calls. And so once that is done, I'm looking at the roofing here. Honestly, these are not optimized for Google search. I don't care about the ones that are pagination. These are known as pagination pages that are just like category pages. Can't really do much with these here. If you scroll down, you can see that we can, these are basically blog category pages, but we don't want to optimize those, so not a big deal. So I'm going to select these. I'm going to delete the selected row, so now I have a more concise list of the pages that I want to optimize the page title for. And since we could see that, I don't know why they added so many dashes there, but I'd want to clean those up and follow the structure that I gave earlier in this example. Let's make this red. That's the example I gave. And I want to make that relevant to all these pages here. So a lot of these are under 60 characters in length, but I want to get closer to that limit that Google allows us to type to better incentivize a click for more people reaching my website. And so honestly, just based on experience here, like this is not even optimized. Chandler Roofing, author at, like that's pretty bad. So those are things that we can fix so that we're presented from a better, Google search engine result pages point of view, and so that they click on our website over our competitor website. And so that's the point of all these recommendations, so that will lead to more organic traffic, leads, sales, revenue. So honestly, what I would do right off the bat, I would just copy all these here, and we could see that up to this point, we have 88 pages, 89, 90. So about 99 pages to be exact. So what I would just say is, I could say optimize 99 page titles, or I could just copy this here, and perhaps I may say something like copy that, and then just drag it all the way down. If this works, there we go. And I want to add a filter to this notes tab, so I'm just going to deselect the filter, select the filter again, so now everything stays in line with my recommendations. And since I removed the filter, it brought back the archives URLs here. So I basically want to type in archives and deselect those again to not get distracted with those informational pages, which you can't optimize. And so from there, we have about 90 something and change, right? How many words is this? Call it 99 pages to optimize, since, 100 if you consider the redirect. But I would focus on the page titles first, right? Since this is the first thing that people see before they visit your website, and before they decide if they even want to give your website a chance to click on it, which would lead to more leads, sales, revenue, right? More traffic. I would work on that first, and then I would work on the meta descriptions here. And so moving on to this tab here, I'm going to sort this, from Z to A. And then we could see some of these are way too long. In particular, 10 of these here. So all these here are way too long. So right off the bat, I would want to optimize those. And I'm reading some of these other ones here to see if near the end of the meta description, on each one of these, they're using a call to action. I don't see any right off the bat besides the contact us today here. That's great, but everything else seems to be missing a call to action near the end of the meta description. And this, at a quick glance, one piece, that's not really descriptive for anything, right? So if people were to see one piece inside, this is a good looking website in my opinion. Let's say, that page there, we're going to do something fun here. We're going to click here. I'm going to open up this data here, and let's say I wanted to change out this text here just so you guys can see the example. Okay, so I basically typed in what the meta description would look like if someone were to see this in Google search results. I'm using a inspection tool here. Not that you need to use this, but I like to use this for fun here. I can basically swap out what the page titles would look like just so I could see hey, this looks good and well presented in Google. But you don't need to do this. This is just an example. If someone were to see one piece here for this website, it'd be kind of a jarring experience, right? It doesn't tell you anything about what they offer, who they are, why you should visit their website, right? And so, not picking on them, but I'm just saying this is what this website here has. And so this is an easy fix that we could do to better incentivize more clicks and more people reaching the website. That will lead to more conversions. And so from there, I also want to optimize the remaining meta descriptions, right? Check out, more blog tips for more info. That's okay. Some of these are still very, very short here. I want to maximize my meta descriptions so that I can use as much real estate or digital real estate, so to speak, to incentivize people to want to click on each one of these pages, so all these pages. And the total sum, right? The total of all these URLs are going to increase my chances to rank higher in Google search results, are going to increase my chances of getting discovered, of leading to more clicks, etc. And so what I would do, since they're kind of inconsistent with how these pages are optimized, what I would just copy all these here. We can see they have 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88. So they have about 99, which makes sense, right? They have 99 page titles that we want to fix, but we also want to improve I'm going to say plus the 99 meta descriptions, optimize for clicks, include a CTA, so a call to action, call now, book now, get a free quote, get a free estimate, etc. Right? And yeah, make more descriptive, make more. And so I'm just going to copy those, and we're going to skip over this here. And so we're basically building out the recommendations here, as you can see, right? So these are a lot of things that we can work on right away. This will take a good amount of time here. It's not the biggest website that I've worked on, but there's still a good amount of work here. That there's a lot of potential here for this website, right? And so, yeah, a lot of these recommendations will take some time to fix. But then one of the last things I like to work on are the header ones. I want to make sure that I'm including a keyword here, a search phrase related to, you know, what this page is about. So if I'm talking about a specific city, you know, or about a specific product that I offer, service that I offer, I want to make sure that that's the first thing that people see in the header one. Typically, that's going to be in either the hero image, right? The hero image is this section of the website whenever someone lands on your page. In this case, they have a video inside the hero image location. Not a big deal. It actually looks decent. But yeah, that's where the hero image location exists here. So as long as you're including a search query with some search volume, then that is basically good enough for me. And if that makes sense to do so. You may want to get some ideas on what your competitors are doing for their different web pages and see how they format their information here, their page copy, the text, so that you can make better informed decisions that are data driven and that'll have a high impact on your website. So this is a pretty good looking website from the looks of it here. And yeah, you can get some examples here. So make sure the header one is optimized, and if you can include a keyword, if it makes sense to do so, then do it. You just don't want to keyword stuff, right? You don't want to include keywords for the sake of including keywords. You just want to make it look natural. And if you guys wanted some more tips on some tools that you can use, if you don't know how to build out the page or you just need some inspiration, some ideas on what, you know, the competitors are doing, then you can also use a tool like Surf for SEO to help you build out the page copy. But now you have a lot of things to do here. You could say like plus review, you know, header ones to include keywords. So you could say this needs research. So I would do this for all pages. I would start with the page titles, the meta descriptions, header ones, and on top of that, another thing you could do is you can open up each page here and see how it's formatted. But yeah, I would get some inspiration from the service pages or the product pages that my competitors offer. So say I was doing gutter installation, then I may want to see how this top ranking website is formatting their website, right? People have questions, so they answer them here. How-tos, that may be a keyword, it may not be, I don't know. Get free estimates, right? They have a call to action here. This looks good, it's well laid out, very simple. And then we could see some information on their page titles and descriptions, along with how they formatted their URLs. It's very clean, easy to understand, and it's very simple, but effective. And I wonder if, you know, including search terms related to the different cities and states or districts, provinces, may be of use to not just this potential competitor, but to the example website that we're optimizing. So these are all different things that you want to look at when you're optimizing a website. And then optimizing the website for, you know, page speed, as we saw with the page speed insight tools in the beginning. Make sure that each image here is descriptive and they include a keyword. If it makes sense to do so, in this case, I may not want to include a keyword for, say, like an image like this, but I may want to talk about what the image is about. So that's pretty simple there. And you can get some more ideas as well on what the, you know, what the homepage can be about in terms of what page copy you can include, and just get some more ideas on the different sections that you want to build out. Maybe talk more about the benefits of working with you guys versus a competitor website, right? Because maybe other competitors also do residential, commercial, HOA, right? Maybe they were also established a long time ago. Not that this is a long time ago, but you can get some ideas there, right? How do you stand out? And so getting some ideas on how to improve that would be ideal there. So yeah, go ahead and like the video if you want to see more videos like this one here, and then check out some more of my other content if you haven't seen it already. All right.